Perfect. All right. Casket King, are you there? King,
Oh, what's up, man?
how you doing, buddy?
I'm just chilling.
We are dual casting right now between your channel and mine.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you accepted my dual cast. What are you doing right now?
Uh, Nothing. I just down.
Yeah, I was wanting to test out this dual cast feature. Apparently, it works pretty well, and yeah, wanted to kind of do a. I'm just live streaming over here, and I was like, who else am I going to test this out with? Of course, it's going to be
Yeah,
Casket King.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, although I do have a title for this called "Let's Talk About Mental Health," and if you're cool with that, we can kind of discuss it and whatnot, and maybe interact with the chat if as people come in if they do. Let's see here. Hold on. I don't know how the chat's going to work with being live with a guest, so this is going to be something I try out new. I don't know how it's going
Yeah,
to go.
unfortunately, this only works on mobile, so I'm on my phone right now.
Oh, it does it?
Yeah, I tried to join on the computer, but it says it only works on mobile.
Interesting. So you're logged into your account on mobile.
Oh, we got our first viewer.
Hey, what up, viewer? Me and Mr. King are going to be talking about mental health and stuff. You're welcome to join into the chat if you want to. Just working on dual casting currently.
I'm gonna see if I can't find the chat.
Um, so, Casket King, man, you are a person who has been let's had outward stimuli really impact your upbringing, right?
I don't know. Can you explain it a bit more simply?
All right. So you've gone through some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, how would you say that's impacted you in a way that, how would you say that's just impacted you?
I don't know. I'm a lot more nervous than I probably should be.
Yeah. Let's explore that a little bit. What kind of things, like what are you doing or what things are happening when you feel your nervousness coming on?
Oh, if I get real nervous, I don't eat. I vomit.
Uh-huh. What are some indicators that things are making you nervous? Like, what do you feel in your body?
Like I don't know. I'll just start getting butterflies in my stomach. My brain's like, you're gonna throw up. You might want to do something about that.
Hmm. What kind of events cause you to have that type of feeling?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just literally nothing.
Oh,
Sometimes I just
interesting.
randomly get nervous for no reason. Like the other, I was walking out of a restaurant and all of a sudden I got really nervous and I threw up.
Wow.
I probably was on the side of the road throwing up for like 5 minutes.
Was this when you were out with your mother?
Yeah.
So you got nervous out of nowhere.
Yeah, just I was fine. and then I just got real nervous all of a sudden.
So you felt it in your stomach first? Like you could feel it in your stomach, your nerves?
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because the parasympathetic system shows that your body and your mind are definitely interconnected, and you can feel certain feelings outside of your like in your body itself. And I think it's good that you're able to recognize that when you feel that feeling in your stomach area, that it is a sign that this is going to be the nerves coming on. What kind of
Yeah.
strategies do you use to kind of combat those feelings whenever they arise?
I don't know. I got a weak gag reflex, and once that starts happening, there's no way to stop it.
Okay. So at that when once you feel it
Just
starting on, it's
let it take its course. You'll be fine after.
okay. So in the even though in the moment you may be have high nerves, you do know it's going to pass.
Well, there's part of me that realizes that, but the other part of me is like, oh, I gotta throw up right now.
Hmm. Well, what happens whenever you get to the point to whenever it's over? Like, how do you know whenever it's relieving? What do you feel?
Well, it usually doesn't stop until I'm empty.
Okay, so you have to empty out everything.
Well, the thing is, well, there's also times I get nervous when I haven't eaten and I'm just retching and nothing's coming out, and that will last for a couple of minutes.
Can you think of any common denominators that may be occurring between these different events?
Well, yeah, I'm nervous about my new place and stuff, but sometimes, like a lot of times, it just comes out of nowhere.
Mhm. So there's no common denominator of like being outside the house or
Oh, it happens in the house too.
okay, interesting. What kind of strategies have you taken to try to minimize those activating events?
I don't know.
Mhm. That's fair.
It's like
So,
it's hard to like figure out what to do when it comes out of nowhere for no reason.
mhm, that's fair. That's fair. Have you spoken with any of your physicians about uh, these anxiety attacks?
Well, I'm gonna have to next time I see my therapist because
Yeah.
this just recently started happening.
Oh, so these are a new symptom.
Yeah,
Okay. How long has this been going on for?
like I know once I move, I'll be perfectly fine. Like I
Hmm.
won't be nervous and shit.
Hmm. But how long has these symptoms been persisting? Like, if you had to say days, weeks, months.
Month and a half,
Okay, so maybe like mid-January.
maybe not even that.
Okay,
No, about mid-January. That's about right.
interesting. So around mid-January, these symptoms started occurring. What happened in mid-January? Or at the beginning of January? Did something occur that kind of started the snowball?
Yeah, I can't really get into it.
Okay. Okay, but you feel it. I'm hearing that you said that these symptoms will be relieved once you get into your new place, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you feel like that these anxiety episodes are being exacerbated by your current living conditions.
I don't know about that, but I don't know. It's just the fact that I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
Okay. All right, that's fair. But you did say earlier that you felt like it would get better once you finalized your move.
Yeah, because I'll be less nervous. And it's like I won't have anything to worry about.
Hmm. So it sounds like you're going through a lot of distress right now within your family unit or your household.
Yeah, it happens.
Hey, that I mean, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to talk about it. But that's what I'm hearing. Am I right? Or
Yeah, kind of. It's not. It's just tense.
okay, that's fair. Well, I appreciate you being open and sharing. Can you think of previous times in the past where you may have had anxiety like this?
I know when I threw off my equilibrium, I had a lot of anxiety.
Oh, well, let's talk about that. When did you do that?
Back when I lived in my trailer a long time ago, I sneezed really hard, and I threw off my equilibrium in my brain or something, and I got vertigo really bad for like half an hour.
Did you say you sneezed really hard?
Yeah, I sneezed really hard, and
Interesting.
it like did something to the inside of my head and gave me vertigo. I thought I was gonna be dizzy for the rest of my life, so I'm just sitting in the bathroom, just like stressed out, thinking, "Oh God, I think I need to go to the hospital. I think I
Hmm.
need this. I'm so dizzy. I don't know what to do."
Hmm. How did they end up playing out?
I don't know. It eventually corrected itself, but I know for like a year after that, I had a fear of sneezing.
Yeah, I would too if it made me dizzy like that every time I sneeze. Dang.
Yeah, dude, it was no joke.
Yeah, you literally sneezed your equilibrium out of sync.
I don't even know how that's fucking possible.
Don't know. Fascinating though, man.
I'm like I've been tempted to look it up before, but I'm like afraid to know like how close I came to like fucking up my life.
Yeah. Um, how old were you the first time you spoke with a therapist?
I don't know, 26, 27.
Okay. What was that experience like?
I scared the poor woman.
You scared the poor woman. What makes you say you scared the poor woman?
Because after I got done telling my story, before I left, she said, "Wow, I can't believe you're as normal as you are. You should write a book."
How did the, what did you think about her response?
Well, I thought, well, at least she thinks I'm normal.
Yeah, that's a positive, right? Yeah. Um, but do you think that therapy and mental health services are a net positive, or what are your thoughts about them?
I think so. That sometimes you just need somebody to talk to,
Hmm.
and somebody who can also prescribe you pills that you may need.
Well,
Without my meds, I'm a sobbing, rocking mess.
it sounds like your medications are helping you.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah.
I remember one time like something happened and I couldn't get my meds for a month. By the end of that month, it was not a pretty sight.
No.
No.
Can you describe what it was like at the end of that month?
Oh God, I would just be sitting on the couch rocking.
Mm-hmm. So medication treatment works for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you have that helps you. Do you think that your circumstances are, or tell me this? How about this? I want to know three things that have changed for the positive in the last year.
Uh, well, my mom's not as sick as she was. So that's good.
Yeah.
Uh, can't really think of much else.
Oh, come on. There's plenty of things. Just take a moment, think about it. Don't feel rushed. Just sit there and think. I just want to know three things in the last 12 months. A year ago to March 2024, think of three ways that your life has improved. One, your mom's not as sick as she was. That's a pretty big one.
Yeah.
There has to be two more. I challenge you to think on it. In a 365-day year, give me two more. Two more days where your life were improved.
Well, I guess my life has improved a bit through streaming.
Yeah. So have you been enjoying your streaming more?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's two. You enjoy streaming. Let's talk about that. In what ways has streaming improved your life?
Well, I'm more social. I've met some good friends. Made a
Hmm.
bit of money, you know.
Hmm. All wonderful things. More social. Having a good social circle is very important to
Very
me.
true. That is very true.
Yeah, that's a good community.
I remember
Having a
when I
good.
was a kid, I didn't have any fucking friends growing up because I moved around so much.
Hmm. So you have more friends now. You're more social. You're more of a social butterfly.
Yeah, man. If I had never met you, there's no telling where the fuck I would have ended up.
I oftentimes feel the same way about you, man. There's no telling where my life would be, to be honest, Mr. King. Now, give me one more in a 365-day year. Tell me one more way that your life has improved.
Uh,
It can be anything.
I can't think of a single thing.
I challenge you to try.
Uh, what has improved about my life?
Yeah. Or yourself. It doesn't have to be just a physical thing, it can be emotional, mental, environmental. It can be anything. Economics.
God, I really caught a blank here.
Well, can I throw one in and you tell me what you think? You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can I throw one in and see what you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you were not a homeowner a year ago.
That's true.
Yeah, what would 2014 Casket King say about being a homeowner?
2014.
Yeah.
God, I probably told myself realizing, oh God, I weigh 420 pounds.
No, what would you say about being a homeowner?
Yeah, I wouldn't give a shit about that. I'd be more concerned that I'm still fat.
Okay, how about this? Why does being fat matter so much to you? What is it about being fat that
You get more than anything. It's so cumbersome.
Mhm. Well, let's talk about it. Are you comfortable with that?
Yeah, sure. I don't care.
All right. So how much do you currently weigh?
Somewhere around 420.
420 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the most you've ever weighed?
This is it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And So, what can you do to maximize your health going forward?
I don't know. I know once I move, I won't be tempted to drink full sugar soda anymore.
How do you, what makes you think there won't be soda anymore?
Well, because it's just gonna be me and my mom, and he mostly drinks bottled water. She drinks Pepsi every now and then.
Uh huh.
Like she'll have her case, I'll have my case of zero sugar sodas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what would be an ideal weight for you from your own perspective?
Oh God, I remember getting down to 360 was nice. I'd be happy with 250. Fuck, I'd be happy with 300 at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to know. Can you tell me three things you can do to help push that goal forward?
I don't know. When it comes to eating shit, it's like I don't have much options. It's like you eat what you can.
Uh huh.
Try not to eat sugar, but it's like I still get cravings for it. I give in.
Sugar addiction is a valid addiction. My next stream is going to be about addictions. So I uh, I appreciate you being honest about that.
Oh yeah, sugar addiction's fucking real, man.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is, and it. I'm glad that you can recognize that you know that it's something that you're challenged by.
I think a
What?
lot of people are challenged by it.
Oh yeah. Well, can you tell me three things that you are willing to do that can benefit your health?
I don't know. I'm just trying to do the whole soda thing.
That is a big one. Yeah. So drinking
Last
zero
time I did
sodas.
the whole soda thing, I got down to 360. I don't know what the problem is this time.
So zero sodas helps. What is there? What other things can you think about that might help? Can you give me a couple more?
And I really should stop eating bread.
Mm. So maybe less carb consumption. Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, well, yeah, but what are you gonna do? I eat a lot of rice, and I like rice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that something you'd be willing to give up temporarily?
I don't know.
That's fair. If the answer is no, then it's no, and that's totally acceptable, Mr. King. You know, but I would challenge you this week to try to come up with three things that you want to focus on to help you with your health. If you can come up with three goals to focus on and write
Well,
them down.
I need to cut out all candy. Like, I don't touch candy that's pure sugar. Stuff like marshmallows or like hard candies.
Yeah.
Like anything like that, I don't touch. Suckers.
Yeah. But so you want to cut out candy.
I can try.
Okay. So cutting out candy, going to zero sodas, and lowering your carb consumption. That's three things that I'm hearing. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah,
Are those three things that you'd be willing to work on?
I guess I could always give it a shot.
So how are we going to measure the success of these goals?
I have no clue.
Can we say Casket King will not consume more than one regular soda a week?
I don't even need that.
All right, would a month work?
I don't know. I really prefer the zero sugar sodas.
Okay, so how about this? It'll be measured by Casket King will not consume regular sugar sodas more than one every 3
I
months. We'll just
did
put it at
drink
that.
a regular soda.
Huh?
The only time I'm tempted to drink regular soda is when I find a flavor I've never had.
Okay, so how can we measure this? So we'll just say Casket King will not drink regular soda or will only drink zero sugar sodas. And so that's a measurement. And let's say for candy, candy's going to be a harder one for you, you said, right?
Oh yeah, because a lot of holidays just revolve around fucking candy.
Yeah. So what would be a measurement number that you would feel comfortable with? Casket will not have more than what? What's your normal candy consumption?
I don't know. It's just hard for me to say no to chocolate.
Okay. So how often do you eat chocolate?
Once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Okay, so would you be willing to do it to go to once a month?
I guess.
You can pick a special day and it's your chocolate day. So for your second goal, we can say Casket King will not eat chocolate for more than one day out of the month. That's a measurable goal. So does that seem attainable to you?
Yeah.
And then rice. This is going to be the most tricky one, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be a tricky one because I fucking love rice.
How often do you eat rice now?
Oh goodness, it really depends.
On what?
Sometimes we'll have it a couple times in a week. Sometimes we won't have it for a month.
Okay, so how do you feel when you don't have it for a month?
It's like, oh man, we haven't had rice for a while. Sounds good.
Yeah. So how about this? You said sometimes you have it a couple of times a week. Would you be comfortable with going down to having it no more than once a week?
I don't know. It's really not up to me.
Okay, so this is something that's out of your personal control.
Yeah, because I wish I could cook, but my legs just won't hold me up that long.
Okay. Well, then maybe that can be a future goal is to working up leg strength. I mean, having stronger legs, that would be helpful, do you think?
Yeah,
Is that something you would be willing to work up to?
I've tried.
Well, what would be the benefits of having stronger legs?
And I'd be able to walk more.
Mm-hmm.
Although when I'm walking, it's usually not my legs that give out; it's my back.
Ah,
There's nothing I can do about that.
okay. Then how about Casket King will portion control his rice intake every time he eats it?
Oh,
Is
I
that
already do.
okay? Okay, so if rice is something we're currently not, it's not on the table for as a goal, then can you think of a third one?
I don't know. What do I eat a lot of?
So no more candy except for once a month, and only zero sugars. You agreed to those two, right?
Yeah,
Great. Now we need a third. What can that third be, King? And it doesn't have to be food related. It can be, walking 300 steps a day on my step counter or something like that. These
I don't
goals
know.
are
I
personable.
hope once I move, I'm gonna be making some changes to my life.
Yeah. Oh, let's talk about them. What type of changes are you looking at making?
I want to sit up more.
Oh, that's a beautiful goal. Would you like to say Casket will sit up for 1 hour a day?
Yeah, I don't know if I could do that starting out.
Okay. Well, what about 15
About
minutes a
20
day?
minutes, my back is like fucked.
Would 15 minutes feel more comfortable or less than that or
I
more
guess,
than that?
like I have this idea for videos. Like I want to. It's like, oh, it's the casket corner, and I have like this chair, and I'm sitting there,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know, talk about a topic or do a review or something. I don't know.
So you need to work up your stamina sitting up. Do you think you could do 5 minutes a day in a chair sitting up?
Probably.
So would you be willing to say Casket as your third goal? Casket King will sit up in a chair for 5 minutes a day.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right. So there's three goals for you to work towards that. I mean, they seem reasonable to you, right?
Yeah.
Casket will sit in a chair for 5 minutes a day. Casket will not consume chocolate for more than 1 day a month. And Casket King will, let's see, only drink zero sodas. Those three goals seem attainable.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad they seem obtainable to you. And I hope that these are goals that you are able to achieve. And what I would like to do is meet back with you in a month and reassess and reevaluate how your goal maintenance is going. Would you be comfortable with that, Mr. King?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. In the meantime, I would like to meet with you once a week to discuss some of the trauma that you've gone through and kind of give you a place to vent. What's your opinions on that, King?
Oh, no, we give it a shot.
Okay, great. I value who you are as a person, and I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today. Just so you know, this is me talking to my friend, Mr. Casket King. We've known each other for many a moons.
Yes, we've known it with what, 15 years?
Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride, my man.
It's been a minute. Yes.
It's been a good time. And it's pretty fun. But I guess I'm going to let you go and I'm just going to keep going on because I know you're on your phone.
Nah, my phone's plugged in. I'm good to go.
Do what?
My phone's plugged in. I'm good to hang, man.
Okay, cool. Then we can just chill for a little while.
I finally picked a Pokemon for my final slot on my team.
Oh, you did? What's the Pokemon?
Well, I couldn't decide whether I wanted a poison type or a dark type for my final Pokemon.
Yeah.
Then I realized a Alolan Muck is poison and dark.
Wait, who?
Alolan Muck.
Ooh. Well, there you go. And you have a shiny one, right?
I had a shiny one.
Oh, yeah. I remember you caught two shinies back to back.
Yeah, Zubat and a Diglett.
Mm-hmm. I was on that call with you that day.
I always find shiny Pokemon when we're talking.
You do. I'm your little lucky charm. I'm a lucky charm. But I appreciate you, man. It's 15 wonderful years of friendship.
Hell yeah.
My best homie, my number one G, my brother. Ugh. Wouldn't change it for the world.
E-Club founding members.
Yeah, we are the founders of the D Club. Well, we're the D Club.
Oh man, we got one person watching us right now. I wonder who they are.
To our one viewer, we appreciate you taking the time to watch us. We just been going literally through the some of Casket's mental health, things of that nature, and now we're just sitting back, relaxing and chilling, and just enjoying conversation. Uh, and tomorrow's topic, I'm going to go live tomorrow evening, and we're going to be talking about addictions. So that's going to be the topic for tomorrow afternoon's video, and we'll go from there.
You should bring me on because I was once addicted to a couple of things.
You were addicted to what?
I was addicted to a couple of things, and I've been through withdrawals at least once. I can talk about that.
Okay, cool. So I'll bring you on for tomorrow's episode where we can talk about that. I may start the episode with just me and bring you on now that I figured out how to do it.
Yeah, just message me beforehand so I know you're doing the thing.
Yeah, totally fine, my man. But yeah, I realize that there's a social stigma when it comes to mental health. There's a percentage of the population who feel as though receiving mental health treatment is a negative whenever you're just treating someone who is going through something, just a
Well,
human going through something. Hmm? What'd you say, Mr. King?
and then they see it as weakness, trying to get help.
Yeah, I would like to challenge that perspective and say that getting help should not be considered a sign of weakness. In my perspective, receiving mental health treatment is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength
I
because it
agree.
shows vulnerability. It's me saying, "Hey, I am who I am and I'm struggling right now and I need help." That is showing vulnerability, and to be vulnerable is to be strong because you're allowing your true sense of self to be raw and open without fear of social repercussion or stigma or any of the following. So there's a level of strength that it takes, a bravery and courage in order to seek treatment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would never look at anyone differently for trying to seek treatment for anything that they feel like they need help with. I mean, for example, if you break your arm, you're going to go get treatment so that it can be placed so that your arm can heal.
Yeah.
If you go through a traumatic event, why is that treated differently? Why can't you go receive treatment so that you have less long-term effects from your traumatic event? I think it only makes logical sense to do so. Would you agree?
I agree.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you agree, Mr. King. I want to do something special here on the Blind Justice channel. To our, we still have one viewer.
Yep.
Is it you? Are you viewing it?
No, I don't think it is me.
Well, to whoever it is, we appreciate you. Uh,
No. Hunting this muck is gonna drive me crazy.
why do you say that?
Okay, so I wanted to have a certain nature,
What nature?
calm.
Okay.
So calm is plus special defense minus.
Yeah.
Wait,
Plus special defense.
wait, why would I want it minus attack?
Well, maybe calm isn't what you're looking for.
You know what? I think I put the wrong one on there. I think I mislabeled this. I need to check this real quick. Shit.
Okay, so if you don't want calm, what do you want?
Uh, what I want is careful.
Mm.
I've been hunting the wrong fucking thing.
Well, aren't you glad I'm here to help you figure that out?
Yeah, but the thing is, I think I caught one of these earlier.
Did you toss it away, or is it in the PO box?
No, the thing. Okay, look. The thing is, this thing knows the Grimer in the wild that you can find in the DLC, the Alolan Grimer you can find. It knows Memento, which will knock it out instantly if it uses it. So I've been using. I have 7 Master Balls, and I've been capturing these things 7 at a time, and resetting my game, and then going back to the area and doing it again.
How do you have so many master balls?
Because I do a lot of trading and a lot of Gen Den Pokemon holding a Master Ball
Why?
because they want you to go to their website and buy Pokemon.
Mm.
It's usually like A Master Ball or a gold bottle cap or an ability patch.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my next question then. Why are you wasting your master balls on this?
I'm not going to use them for anything else.
Fair point. Fair point. Well, if you're not going to use them for anything else, then by all means, my man, feel free to go ahead and use them for whatever you're going to use them for. I've got
My
my Grimer in a master ball, bitch.
my muck is a real son of a bitch.
Uh, yeah.
Okay, let me tell you this. It has poison touch. So anytime I make contact with a Pokemon, that's a 30% chance to poison them.
Whew.
So I teach it poison jab, which is another 30%. So that's a 60% chance of
Did they
poisoning them.
stack?
Yeah, they stack.
Wow.
I also taught it dig.
Oh, so you're making it into a stall out.
Yeah, I gave it the black sludge and rest and sleep talk.
What does Black Sludge do?
If it's a poison type Pokemon, it restores your health 1/6 at a time.
How much of your health?
I maxed out my HP and my defense, so it's
But
pretty high there.
but what about your special defense?
It's already kind of high, so I just that's why I went with the careful nature to boost the special defense. So then I would have to put it in poison.
So you're really making a stall out. This one,
Yeah.
you're trying to bide turns so that they die from poisoning.
Basically, yeah, and dig.
Yeah, well, Dig buys you 2 turns. They can't attack you while you're underground unless you
And
use Earthquake.
my black sludge will heal me for any damage I may have.
Unless they use Earthquake, that can still hit you underground.
That is true, but if I'm gonna go up against any ground type, which is my only weakness, I'll just switch out to something else.
Yeah, I love the stall out strategy. I did that with my Umbreon, remember?
Oh yeah, I remember that thing was a beast.
Yeah, it knew confusion. It knew poison, or what was it? Poison something.
It was toxic.
Yeah, it knew toxic. It knew confusion, confuse ray. It knew moonbeam, and it knew dig. So I would confuse you, so you had a 50% chance of missing on your attacks. And then I would poison you, confuse you, and then I would use dig and moonbeam alternate. And that was a beast. I won so many matches with that Umbreon setup.
Yo, extra queso and Kitty Custard is here. What's up?
Hey, what's oh, we have 2 people?
Yep, we got 3 people watching us.
All right, read if there's comments, read them.
Extra queso says, "Yo,
What up,
Dan,
extra queso?
hello again."
Hey, how are you doing, my man? Hope you're having a great day. Right now, we're talking about Pokemon. We have been talking about setting up goals for Casket King to help with his weight loss, some smart goals to help with his weight loss that he has decided that he needs. Isn't that right, Casket?
Yeah.
Tell you want to tell him about your 3 goals that you came up with?
Oh shit, I can't remember them.
You want me to write them down and send them to you? I can do. You know what? I will do that. The first one was Casket King will only drink 0 sodas, like 0 sugar sodas for the next month. That was the first goal that Casket King said that he could do. We're going to do this as a month by month thing. So the second one, Casket King decided, was Casket King will not have chocolate for more than 1 day during the next month. And Casket King said that he could most likely do that. So we set that as a smart goal. And the third one was Casket King will sit up in a chair for 5 minutes a day, every day for the next month. And those are the 3 that you said that that seemed achievable to you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to write down your 3 smart goals, and then I'm going to send them to you. And we will unite in a month and evaluate. And if we need to make changes to your goals, we can do that then and go from there. Tomorrow, when I go live, at some point, I'm going to pick a specific time where I go live every day. Right now, it's random. But tomorrow, when I go live, we're going to be talking about addictions and ways to help you relieve your addictions and to overcome on your journey towards the person that you want to be. So that's going to be for tomorrow's topic. And if you guys want to chat, leave comments. I'll have Casket read them, and we'll just we're just gonna right now we're just talking about Pokemon, but the as you've seen on the title, we're supposed to be talking about mental health tonight. Is there any new
Yeah.
comments, King?
Uh, Extra Queso says he's proud of us.
Thank you, Extra Queso. I hope you're having a good night, my man. Extra Queso is a great dude. He's a part of the Casket King Casket Crew podcast with myself and of course Casket over on his channel. And you should check him out. We do the podcast every Saturday, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard.
And don't forget about movie night every Wednesday in the Discord.
Yeah, and every Wednesday we do movie night in his Discord server. And Queso is going to be creating his own YouTube channel soon. And I can't wait till the day that I can have him up on here as well, and we can be dual casting like this, and as well as so like we're growing out the Casket Crew and we're growing the network basically, and so it's a beautiful process.
Elf says hello.
Hello, Elf. Are you the elf on the shelf? Elf, thank you for being here. I don't think I've spoken with you before. I'm always curious how people find their way into my live streams.
Queso asks, what's the mental health topic for tonight?
Tonight we're talking about social stigma that is surrounded around mental health, and me and Casket had been talking about. Let me put it this way: like for example, if you break your arm, you want to receive treatment to fix your pain that you're feeling and to repair yourself. But when people go through a traumatic event, why is there stigma around someone wanting to go to a professional to fix their pain so that they can heal themselves? Keep in mind, the therapeutic process doesn't heal you. What it does is it creates an environment to where you can heal yourself, much like a medical doctor does. And both medical doctors and people in this field use medication for treatment purposes, right? But treatment and healing is not the same thing. The doctor doesn't heal your arm. You heal your arm. It just sets up the environment to maximize the success of the healing. And that's the same with therapy within the psycho landscape, right? So, why is it that people who go to receive therapy slash counseling, things of that nature, why is it that there's such a stigma around there? From my personal opinion, and I want to know what your opinion on this too, Casket. Feel free to talk for as long as you want once I'm finished with this. But in my personal opinion, if someone if they can recognize that, oh, I need help for insert whatever it is, anxiety, depression, of traumatic events, trauma of some sort, and they recognize that they need that and they pursue that help, that's bravery, that's courage, that's strength. That's because that's someone who recognizes they need help and they pursue it. People who to me that should be honorable, right? Like the stigma around mental health in this country, I believe is an ultimate is it's a it's a problem, right? I mean, what are your thoughts, Casket?
It's definitely a problem.
Well, continue. I want some more. I want some more out of you.
I don't know what else to say.
Well, tell us about your experience. How has receiving therapy and treatment helped you?
Well, it's nice to have somebody to talk to about my problem. Of
Mhm.
course, the medication is nice.
Mhm. In what ways do you think you've been benefited by it?
Well, I'm still alive.
Well, that is true. You're most definitely still alive. Do you feel that you're in an environment where you can be open completely about everything?
Yeah.
That's good.
Danny Custard says, I think oftentimes mental health issues are perceived as weakness.
It is. Why is it though that mental health, like, okay, is it receiving treatment that's considered as weakness, or is it having a mental health this problem? Because if we're looking at the statistical
Oh,
data, the last time that I looked at this was 2019, so it may have changed since then. So please fact check me. But in 2019, in my textbook, I remember this as clear as day. 49% of individuals in America, adults, not children, 49% of adults have a form of mental illness that needs treatment. And yet, a large percentage of them choose not to receive treatment due to it being perceived as weakness. Do you think that I believe that the concept of mental health treatment being perceived as weakness comes from the bootstrap mentality. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, come on, get going, get going, get going type of mentality that this country's been built on due to the capitalistic growth
I don't know.
that
I think it has to do with those old school medical hospitals from like the 20s.
that's
Like,
fair.
oh, don't keep help. They'll put you in a loony bin like back then where they strap you to the bed and shock the shit out of you.
That is a fair point. The mental health field is does have a dark side, a dark past. There was some unethical acts that had taken place.
And I think it still has that stigma. I'm not saying they do it now, probably,
Mhm.
but it
No,
still
there's
has
no problem. They don't. They don't. Let me just clarify. All, for the most part. But continue your thought.
extra case. So my 2 cents is that society pressures us to be productive and often get in the way of that. It's the get a job people who judge from a place of ignorance.
Exactly. It's to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Come on, get your shit together. Go out there and work. Go out there and do your thing. That to me, I feel like it has to do with capitalism. The idea of you have to perform functionally, and anything that makes you perform unfunctionally is a personal problem. And and it's not taken seriously. If it, like, for example, if you look and you see a cog in the machine that's missing a tooth, you go and repair the cog, right? So that's a physical element. But if the cog in the machine has a mental problem, this is a metaphor, right? Maybe not the best one, then it's not a physical thing that you can see. Therefore, you're still doing your production on the line as in communist society. And so they want to ignore it and not address it, right? As long as you can maintain your function well enough to continue grinding away in a capitalistic society, that's all they give a damn about. When the truth is, as a society, we're failing the individual because we're not taking into account personal trauma. We're not taking into account about personal changes in affect and mental acuity based off of long-term untreated trauma, which can lead into a magnitude of other mental disorders such as anger or anxiety or even like Alzheimer's can be directly linked to unresolved trauma. And so it just keeps exacerbating itself and into major forms if you don't receive treatment. So I would, of course I'm going to advocate for receiving treatment due to the field that I'm in, but when it comes to the process of stigma, I don't know how to fix that problem from a societal perspective. I don't know what would. And I think about it a lot because
You
there's a
know, this
so
is
go ahead.
really off topic, but I just want to say, dude, that the beard is on point today.
Oh, you like the beard?
It's on point. It looks great.
Does it? I appreciate it. Thank you for that compliment. Dang. I was thinking about shaving it today. Now I'm not going to.
It looks great.
Does it really?
You look good with it, man.
I was
Like,
seriously thinking about shaving it.
you have a little patchy spot right here, but once that fills in, don't
You,
shave it, man. Let it fill in.
you know I'm blind. Where's right here?
Okay, put your finger on your cheek. Other cheek.
Oh, right here. I have a bald spot in my beard.
Yeah, a little one.
Let me cover that shit up. Now I'm all self-conscious and shit. Actually, you want to know why I have a bald spot on this cheek? There's actually a reason for it.
Ooh, do
Yeah.
tell.
When I was 5, I had cancer and I had a tumor in my left cheek that was the size of a basketball. It's bigger than my head, believe it or not.
Oh my god.
And I had to go to surgeons to get it removed. The plastic surgeon removed the tumor that was bigger than my head and did plastic surgery. And where that I can't grow hair right here is where the skin was folded in on itself to put the scar on the inside of the skin, so that way it can't be seen on the outside. I can feel it if I put my tongue over there. I have a scar, but that's exactly where that is. So I probably will never grow hair there.
How the fuck have I never heard this story?
It just I've told you about it. Remember I told you I was at the military hospital for like a year.
Well, yeah, you told me you had cancer, but you never told me it was the size of a fucking basketball. Jesus.
Yeah, there's pictures of me having this tumor, and it was so big that my ear was like way off over here.
Oh god. Do like one of those Ed Netty things where they're sucking on the jawbreaker.
Pretty much, I was a real life version of that as a 5-year-old. And
Easy, man.
thankfully, the plastic surgeon did pretty well. I think. I mean,
Dude, you can't tell at all.
yeah. But there's pictures of me as a 5-year-old with a like straight up Ed and Eddie jawbreaker moment. So it's a part of my. I have retinitis pigmentosus, which is why I'm blind. It's a RP for short. It's a genetic disease, which I have because I'm an incest baby. And then I also have histiocytosis X, which is, and I had lymphoma as a kid, and that's blood cancer. But
Man, I
um,
thought life was rough. Jesus.
yeah, so all those were. Hey, man, you know, we all have troubles and tribulations in life. Not all of them have a name that can be recognized, right?
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
lucky.
that's true.
I'm lucky enough that mine had names to be recognized, so treatment could be implemented. So I'm grateful for that. But that's why I have a bald spot there. That's my constant reminder. But anyways, let's get back on the mental health, shall we, Mr. King?
Alright.
So one aspect to the mental health avenue that oftentimes gets questioned with the stigma is we have a revolving book that we use in the therapeutic landscape called the DSM. And right now we are up to the DSM 5 TR. But if you look back in the history at the DSM to the previous iterations of it, you will find things that are incredibly problematic and in a major way. Like for example, if you go back to the DSM they used in the 70s and 80s, up I believe until it was around 94, 95, being gay was considered a mental disorder up to the mid 90s in the old DSM. Look it up. And so there's a lot of hesitation as well due to previous mistakes, but it is an evolving science, right? Where the more we learn, the more we understand, the more we recognize symptom patterns, the better we can represent treatment methods. Once we realized that being gay is not a mental disorder and it's just a byproduct of being alive, some people are born gay, some people are born straight. I mean, if you look back throughout all of history, it's common, even if you look like back in the samurai days, right? It was common for samurais to sleep together. That was a common avenue in real history and things of that nature. Like, so it's not it was in modern society after we created factories and then creating more babies to be workers was more vitally important than anything else. That's really whenever it started to become a problem, when two men ain't creating a baby, two women ain't creating a baby. So capitalism said, you know what, we need to make sure that people are getting with people where they can create more workers, and that's where the problem became from. What are your thoughts, King?
I don't know. I think it's just because people hate things that are different.
But it's only been perceived different really in modern history.
That is true. Like ancient Roman shit, that stuff was normal.
Yeah, absolutely normal in ancient Rome. In some ways, they were more advanced than we were when it came to social political understanding. And the ability to allow a person to be themselves, way more understanding in those avenues, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only in modern times whenever we started doing factory labor work when we hit the
Yeah, it's only been in the last 2,000 years.
not no not even not even although I will say religion does point negatively towards people of same-sex relationships, which did not help, right? but
Oh, definitely.
but it wasn't pushed politically or legally until we needed more baby production for workers. We got to make sure the lower caste keeps producing more children so that we can have more slave labor, while we take the 99% of wealth and we give them one to struggle with, right? And because it let's be honest, it always trickles to the top. And if you don't believe so, go look at how wealth is distributed right now and tell me that it doesn't trickle to the 99, to the top 1% of people. It absolutely does. You get
Yeah,
tax
you
write-offs.
know more about that stuff than I do.
Huh?
I said I ain't gonna argue with you, man. You know more about that stuff than I do.
I know this isn't about mental health specifically, but it still plays into the concept of mental health because we are a byproduct of both nature and nurture. From my clinical lens, this is my statement on nature and nurture. Nature produces the field in which we play on. And by that I mean your emotional range, your range of ability of growth, your range of ability of IQ, your range of ability of all of the skills that are predetermined by birth, right? That range is set by nature, but where you end up in that field of all of your potential abilities is nurture. And so the environmental effect literally can harm or improve all of your attributes as a person. So society itself has a direct impact on your emotional, physical well-being. And we live in a society, as previously stated, where there is a stigma around receiving mental health
Yeah.
because it's not recognized in a capitalistic society as a problem, because the machine can run even if you want to end your own life in Minecraft. Or even if you feel depressed, you're still a gear running that machine, so they do not care. And my perspective is we need a person-centered society where we care about the individual and not just the machine itself, right? It's like the band name, Rage Against the Machine, my man.
Hell yeah.
Good band, right?
Fuck yeah.
but but these are just my ramblings on the mental health aspect itself. And so what also happens is we put monetary value on everything, right? And I'm conflicted here, right? I'm conflicted because the value of something is about supply and demand. And hold on, I have a point here, so give me a second, right?
Right.
There's people who do have, and I realize some people hate this word, and if you hate this word, that's okay. If you want me to use a different word, just tell me. But some people do have more privilege than others, right? But before we talk about privilege, let's define what it is. What I mean by privilege, you can replace that word with more opportunities. Some people have more opportunities than others, right? Now, going back to the supply and demand, the farther you go up the educational ladder or the training ladder, if you're going to trade school or things of that nature, the more opportunities that are presented to you because the supply of people who have those skill sets are not as many. And so you become in a position where you have more opportunities in life. But the problem with this is everyone doesn't start at the same starting line, right? So
Yeah.
what do you do to benefit and help those who are starting at a lower point in the ladder without pissing off the people who are starting at a higher point?
I don't know.
And the reason why I say that is we don't know if there's correlation within these statistics that I'm about to give, but we know these statistics are there where poverty and mental disorder can go hand in hand. Where, like I said, 49% of the populace in America who are adults would qualify to receive mental health treatment, but the majority of those are in a lower economic situation. So we don't know if being in a lower economic situation causes mental illness, or if people who have mental illnesses just struggle more to be up on the ladder, therefore they naturally fall into the lower economic situation. We don't know which way it goes, but we know that that is something that is relevant data, right? We just don't know how they're correlated. We don't know in what manner. And what I find interesting about that is, so how do you treat that in a capitalistic society? If poverty is directly linked in one way or another to mental illnesses, if you can remove poverty, does that also help alleviate mental health or mental symptoms? Does it? I don't know.
I think in maybe some cases.
Yeah. Well, we also know um, that there is happiness actually does increase with monetary income up to a degree. I believe it's $80,000. Every dollar you make more up to $80,000 has a direct impact on your happiness and well-being, right? Which would indicate that it would have a direct impact to a degree, right? Would you say
Yeah.
so? But we also know that after you get to that point where your needs are being met to a point where you are no longer struggling, then at that point, any more money you gain really does not have an impact on happiness. So is it the fact that you're making the money that's causing the relief of symptoms towards your mental health and improving it? Or is it the fact that your needs are finally being met without struggling?
That's a good question.
These are the type of things I think about in my grad program. And these are the type of things that people, at my level in the field do think about, because these are the questions that are being explored for answers, because if we can find answers, we can help alleviate problems. You know what I mean? Do we have any
Uh,
more comments, by the way?
Nope. We got 2 viewers, 3 likes.
I appreciate the likes and I appreciate the views. Feel free to leave comments. I want to know your perspective on the matter as well. If you disagree with me, I'm happy to interact with you and we can have a civil discussion on the matter. I am open to opposing perspectives. And I'm also open to same perspectives. Um, but so the whole mental health system as a whole, it obviously needs. I just my thoughts. I literally think about this every day. How can I try to improve the stigma around mental health? What can I do to actively show people that receiving treatment is nothing to feel shame about? That it should be something you feel good about doing. And
I don't
I'm in a system where that keeps trying to promote the alternate perspective. That's the unfortunate truth. But so, anyways, to answer your question, Queso, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, we got some comments here.
All right, read them off, Mr. King.
Extra case that says the good news is I think the stigma has decreased over the years, especially after the pandemic.
hmm I'd agree with that. I hope that it continues to decrease, and I think that hopefully, as more of the population becomes educated on the benefits of receiving treatment, maybe that stigma will continue to decrease. I would love to see that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, and I appreciate your comment, Queso. We got any more comments, Mr. King?
No.
Okay, that's fair. I had more active chat earlier, but I guess it's better for me to go live earlier in the day. I'm experimenting with times, so but and yeah, I'm pretty excited. Tomorrow we're definitely talking about addiction and ways to help navigate people who have addictions in a manner that is beneficial for them and wherever they are at. What the main thing there's like a few of the main things you have to do if you want to go into this avenue is you always meet the client where they are at. A great example is for that is today I talked to Casket and I asked him, I was like, so Casket, you earlier he stated that this is the biggest he's ever been, 420 something pounds. And I said, all right, I appreciate you being honest about that. Is that something you would want to change? And he goes, hell yeah. I was like, great. So what are some things you would be willing to do to change it? Because as a person in the position, it's not up to me to tell the client to do anything. All I have to do is ask the questions and help them figure out what it is that they're willing to do and then help them set up some smart goals so that it can be tracked as I did with Casket. And so we will, by the end of next month, we can revisit and see, did you meet your goals? And if so, we can say, all right, do you feel comfortable maintaining the goal for another month, or would you like to increase it and challenge yourself a little more? And we continue to go on from there. And so I just give that information out for anyone who's considering going into the field. Like, and trust me, we need way more people in the field. Where I'm currently, like right now, the wait time to see a therapist at, I'm not going to say the name of the place, is 3.5 months
Damn.
to see a new therapist if you get signed up. Yeah. And so that is not quick enough. And the problem is clients versus therapists in this area is almost like 1 to 800, 1 to 400 range, depending on where you go. So that is a massive demand and a very little supply. So I would encourage anyone to go in this avenue to, if you feel the calling, if you feel as though this is something that you want to do and you feel the need to, if you're naturally one of those people that like to help people and stand up for marginalized people and you know and things of that nature, if you're naturally one of those people, then this is your calling, baby. This is what you should be doing. So But I'll get off my soapbox. We'll jump back to the Pokemon talk for a little bit. But if anyone else has any questions about mental health or want to talk about any particular aspect, ask the questions or ask anything really. So how's that muck hunting coming along, Mr. King?
Not good.
No? How so? Explain.
Let me tell you why. Another reason why I have to use a master ball.
Okay.
Why I have to catch it with a careful nature, and why I can't just breed a Ditto. Because I have a careful Ditto that I could use,
Uh-huh.
but if I breed in a lowland Grimer with a Ditto, it becomes a regular Grimer. And the only way to stop that from happening is to give the Grimer an Everstone, which then
Mm-hmm.
passes on to nature. So I can't give it to the Ditto.
Ah, so you literally have to catch it in the wild.
Yes.
Well, that sounds like a challenge.
It is. It really is because there's no good spot for hunting these things, and they just spawn everywhere. So you never know when they're gonna pop up.
What are your thoughts about the pursuit of happiness, Casket?
You mean like the movie?
No, the idea,
Oh,
the concept.
I mean, I feel like everybody deserves to be happy.
Mm. But is happiness something you can obtain forever?
Uh, I think it depends.
Okay, I'm open. I'm open. Let me hear it.
Some people will never be happy no matter what they have, and some people are happy with very little.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on the person.
But is happiness within itself a state that can be maintained forever?
I, I will say I think it's possible, but very complicated to achieve.
I would argue that it's not. It shouldn't be the goal. What do you think about that?
Why not?
Because by pursuing an emotional state, you're allowing it to control and dictate your actions, right?
I don't know. What if you're just not pursuing it? What if it just happens naturally?
So what you think someone can naturally reach a state where they're always happy?
Maybe not happy, but content.
Ah, see now that's a different emotion. That is a completely different emotion. Being content is absolutely different. Being happy, being sad, being mad, being enraged, being depressed, being, all these emotions are temporary states, right? Would you say so?
I guess. I mean, no one
And
feel one emotion forever. Like
yeah,
there's
so
something wrong with you.
then wouldn't it be fair to say that experiencing happiness forever is also maybe something that might be unattainable?
I guess if it's not the same thing as being intent.
No, content is a completely separate state. That's like a being at peace. You can get
I mean,
joy
I'm
from
at
being at
peace.
peace, but you can also get bored at being at peace. You can also get angry and mad. Like being at peace can be separated, right? Being content. Would you agree?
I don't know. For me, it's the same thing.
Oh, so being content is being happy for you?
Yeah, it's like I'm content. Nothing bad is happening. Things are all right.
Okay, that is fair. I believe that people who are in the pursuit of any emotional states is allowing their actions to be controlled by their emotional like roller coaster, right? Like throughout a single day, you may experience anxiety, you may experience fear, you may experience anger, you may experience, joy, love, kindness, peace. And I believe that emotions are just like clouds in the sky. They come and they go. Like that doesn't have to dictate who you are and what you do, right?
Yeah.
Like you can separate yourself from your emotion. Woo! Can you get me a water, baby? Yeah, I can. Thank you. You're welcome. But you
Yo,
can,
Luke is here. Hello.
yeah, but you can separate yourself from your emotions, right?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So in my personal, there's a book called How to Flourish, right? And it talks about the concept of happiness is being a slave to happiness is just as bad as being a slave to anger. They both can have negative consequences on your life and being. Really, you should be looking for a state of flourishing. Like, and by that, it means like a state to where you're content with your emotional states and you can recognize your emotions without letting them impact who you are because they're temporary. What's not temporary is the observer. You're the observer, observing your emotions, observing the outside world. The observer is not temporary until you die, but your emotional state is. So once you're able to separate the observer from the emotional state, it it feels, then you can start to become curious about your inner workings, and that's how you develop self-awareness, like, or insight. That's a great tool to use. How's that muck hunting coming along?
Well, I've got one more ball for this
And
batch.
then you got to reset again, eh? Well, King, I hope you get it. Uh, how you doing, baby? I'm okay. Good. Can I have a kiss? What, you want a kiss? Oh, of course I do. Come here, baby. You gotta come this way. Okay. Mm. Mm. Hey. Ooh. Hey. Well, Mr. King.
Well, wasn't it? I got one more ball. We're gonna try and find another muck and see what we get.
Good luck, King. Ooh, what'd you warm up? Nothing. Oh, I thought I smelled something. I'm drawing some more cheese. Oh, that's what it is. Come here, Nibbler. Nibbler. Oh, you want some more cheese? Nibbler, come here. I want Mama. He wants Mama's cheese. That's what he wants. But anyways, I appreciate y'all being here on the live stream. And I don't know what time I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm just gonna experiment with times. I might just do random times for probably the next month until I can look at data to see when the best streaming time is for me.
Well, let me give you some advice. I find that the best time to stream is usually on the hour.
Yeah, that's why I tried to go on at 8 o'clock tonight. Well, what time do you normally stream?
I don't know. I've streamed at all hours of the day, and I usually get at least 4 to 8 viewers.
No, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm probably going to call it here. I appreciate everyone being here. We're going to probably, I'm going to call it here on my channel for the night. Make sure you come back tomorrow where we will be talking about addictions and ways to help mitigate your drive to use whatever your addiction is. And so that's going to be the topic for tomorrow night. We're probably going, or tomorrow at some point, probably going to go for about an hour and a half, and then call for that, and then we'll see what the topic will be for the next day. I'm going to do this every day for from now on.
Hey man, what are you fixing to do?
Uh, Hang out with my girlfriend.
I
Why? What are you going to do?
I don't know, probably do the same.
Okay, you going to go live, hang out with your girlfriend live?
Depends.
Yeah. Well, enjoy, Mr. King.
All right, man, you have a good one.
Hold on. I'm gonna get you out of the call. Okay.
All right,
See. Let me figure out how to do this. I need to figure it out. So don't leave, Casket.
all right.
Oh, Lynx, welcome. Holy crap, Lynx is here. How you doing tonight, Lynx? We just been talking about mental health and all of that goodness, but I'm getting ready to end it. And I'm gonna be doing a daily stream over here. This is Casket King, by the way. He's the
Ooh.
YouTuber that I'm in his podcast on Saturdays on his channel. It's called the Casket Crew Podcast. He got famous for doing breading videos back in the 20 teens. Just literally type in pumpkin rubbing, how to rub your pumpkin into the YouTube search, or what's the name of the breaded video?
You just got breaded.
You just got breaded, and you'll see where where he got famous. But I'm gonna remove you now, Casket.
All right, man, you have a good one.
Hold on, don't leave. All right, I believe I figured it out. Okay, that's the first time I had a guess over here. But yeah, it was interesting talking with Casket about his journey with mental health and kind of going through the stigma of mental health through the social system, as well as the evolution of the DSM 5 and how that has been seen as a side of stigma, and how Casket brought up how there is some negative connotation to mental health through the history of mental health. And so maybe there's stigma from that. And so the ultimate goal is to make sure that people who need treatment goes and receives treatment as previously stated, because if someone is in a state to where they're dysregulated, right, then receiving treatment for regulation is absolutely okay. If said this previously, if you break your arm and you go to the doctor, they place your arm to be healed and you receive treatment. If you go through a traumatic event, is it not logical to receive treatment so that there's no long term negative consequences to the trauma, right? Because it will continue to exacerbate and it may evolve into other avenues and leak out in ways that may not be perceived as such. And so receiving help is the name of the game. Now, let me show you my dog before I get off here. Come here, little butthole. Come here. Oh, nope. He's like, I don't think so. This is Nibbler. Ah, Nibbler. Say hey, buddy. Nibbler. Oh, Nibbler. Look at him. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good little boo. Little Nibbler. He's like, rub my belly. He is a Shih Tzu puppy. Oh, look at him being all loving. And I believe last night I showed the cat Donut. So, oh, I think I showed them both last night. All right, goodbye, Nibbler. So that is my pup Nibbler, and yeah, I am passionate about mental health, 100%, which is why I'm going to go live for an hour and a half a day on here from now on, just to just to promote it, because there's people out there that may feel shame, whether it be related to social pressures or job pressures or political pressures or whatever, or family, familial pressures, to not receive treatment because they're afraid of backlash or stigma or some sort of punishment, right? When the truth is, why does society feel the need to punish people who want treatment? Whether it be from a societal perspective, like stigma, or even from a job perspective. Like, for example, if a police officer wants to receive therapy, then, oh, all of a sudden they shouldn't be a police officer anymore? No. Maybe the reason they're receiving therapy is completely unrelated. Maybe they're going through a divorce and they're trying to figure out how to navigate their emotional well being during a divorce. Maybe they've lost a loved one and they need grief counseling. You know what I mean? Like, just because someone is in a position of power, regardless to whether it be political or societal position of power, it doesn't mean that they don't need treatment or that they should be punished for receiving treatment. It means that they probably should be receiving treatment anyways, just like anyone else, regardless of economic status or anything like that. As previously stated, 49% of people as of 2019 or excuse me, 49% of adults as of 2019 in North America would qualify for therapeutic treatment based off of a DSM-5 diagnosis, right? That was literally from my psychology textbook. So, if it's so commonplace, if 50% of the country right at it would qualify, then why is it ignored from a societal perspective? Who's benefiting from it being ignored? That's the question you have to ask yourself, because the people who are benefiting from it being ignored are probably the ones who's continuing to propagate the continued push to continue ignoring mental health treatments, right? To me, that makes logical sense. I mean, would you not agree? Hold on, let me listen to it. Psychological needs, according to who? Grawl? I don't know if this is saying it right. I am not. What I am familiar with is the Maslow's law, the hierarchy of needs, right? Um, I'm very familiar with that social, psychological. Uh-oh, my phone is at 20%. I gotta plug you in. Ah! Hold on, let me get my charging cord. But I would like to look that up. That seems like something I should be aware of. And if I'm not, I always like to be educated even more. All right, I'm charging again. All right, BRB. I am not I am not, but I would like to look that up. I'm not familiar with that. Um, but I promise you that I'm going to definitely look into that because I'm curious to see how that goes with all the other stuff that I've learned. If you want to tell me what it is, I'd love to hear a basic understanding of it now. I mean, if it's too much to type, do you have a book in mind that I could look up to learn or like research? If you have a book in mind, you can tell me the name of the book, and I'll gladly get it and read it. I love educating myself on the process even more. The more knowledge I have, the better I can be in the field. You know what I mean? So it's the more I never want to stop learning. The better if I can improve in any way at this, I want to. I thought I already removed guest. What the heck? Can I invite another guest? Hold on. Klaus Grawl. I'm not familiar. I cannot say that I am Danny Custer. I apologize. Klaus Grawl. But if you want to inform me, I'm here to listen. So I'm curious. You seem to know some stuff about mental health, Mr. Danny Cluster. Are you in the field? Like, do you do anything with this type of populace, or are you in this field at all in any way? Ugh, dog hair. Just curious about that, Mr. Danny. But Yeah, I am very passionate about it. I'm excited for tomorrow's topic about mental health, specifically dealing with addiction. We're going to kind of navigate that avenue for about an hour and a half and kind of go in on the topic and kind of just talk about it and just be open. And then the next night, maybe we'll cover something about anxiety or maybe we'll talk about a philosophical understanding within the mental health field, like Stoicism or Buddhism, and how it has impacted certain modalities within the treatment methods, right? Like there's a lot of different topics within the field, and there's also it's an evolving science, so there's always new research that comes out, which I look up all the time. And as I look up new research, I'm like, "Oh, this is freaking awesome!" And I spend hours just doing that, and then so I can even talk about that. It's going to be easy for me to cover an hour and a half a day for a year, easy. I don't ever see that being an issue. Like I've already hit an hour and a half today. Boom. Oh, you have a medical background, Danny Custer. You have a medical background. Very cool. That's awesome, my person. I don't know if you're a dude or a chick, but a medical background. So you work in the medical field, and like for example, like I stated earlier, working in certain fields, if why is there stigma around it? Like for example, nurses, right? Why is there stigma around? Ooh, I don't know what that was. Good job, Donut. You knocked something over in there, girl. Okay, babe. She's good at that. But in the mental field, well, in the nursing field and things of that nature, why is it there's a lot of burnout, right, in the nursing field, and it happens a lot. We saw that during the pandemic, where nurses were getting burned out because obviously they were being overwhelmed with work, like to a level that has never been seen in living history or living memory, I should say. And therapy can help with job burnout because everybody needs an avenue to get rid of job stress. And I cannot imagine what it was like being a nurse back in the year 2000 or 2020 and 2021 when the pandemic was happening and we still had no research, no data, and to watch every day as people were passing away on ventilators. That will take a toll to your mental health. I mean, absolutely. And working 16-hour shifts day after day after day, absolutely. So, like burnout in the nursing world is pretty high. Are you okay? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, me too. I'm very interested in psychology and all of that stuff. Obviously, obviously. So another topic I want to talk about is the declining birth rates, but that's going to be an entire episode. And I want to look at it from a psychotherapist perspective. Like, why is it that people are choosing to not have children? See, I've got a notepad written, and so far I've got about 90 topics where I can talk for an hour and a half on that has to do with the psychotherapy perspective of certain things, right? And it took me, and I worked on that for 30 minutes. So obviously I can come up with more. Love you, baby. So obviously I can come up with more topics. And so covering a year is going to be pretty easy. And not to mention the evolving landscape of society, there's going to be even more changes, that more topics that just show up that are going to be hot button topics for that time. And I'll just throw those in. But yeah, well, I think I am going to go ahead and end it here, folks. And I will be back tomorrow. Not same time. I don't know what time I'll be back tomorrow. I'm experimenting with times that I go live right now. Um, it may be closer to 5. It may be closer to now. And then I'm gonna evaluate my viewership based off of different times, and then I'll pick a solid time in about a month. I do believe that this is the type of content that is going to be popular going forward from a society based off of some psychology newsletters that I get that state that younger people are choosing to watch interactive content where they can interact with viewers or with streamers. That is the most popular content within Gen Z and Gen Alpha. And so this type of content is being pursued by pretty much everyone at this point because that's what the younger generations are watching. So this is the type of content I'm going to do. And hopefully I can continue to grow and gain viewership talking about what I'm passionate about. And hopefully you'll be passionate about it as well. Or learn something new. If you learn something new, then I'm a happy person. But if you have any specific topics that you would like for me to cover, you can leave them as a comment and I'll add it to the list. I personally believe that nothing should be off limits to be discussed or debated because we need open dialogue. Because only when we bring in censorship, that's whenever we start to develop extremist ideas behind closed doors. And the whole point of having open dialogues is so that ideas can be contested, right? And if we prevent people from having their ideas contested, then how are they supposed to know whether or not they believe something based off of merit and value, or if it's just something that holds no ground? And it's by that perspective that I believe that there's no such thing as a topic that shouldn't be talked about. But you can, feel free to disagree. I'm Justice. Yeah, my animals are running into crap. I'm Justice. For real, that's my real life middle name. That's what I go by. I know my channel is Blind Justice Entertainment. It's not just based off of Blind Justice, the common phrasing. It's because one, I'm blind, and two, my middle name is actually Justice. So that's what I go by. Nice to meet you, Danny. I'm Justice, and I appreciate you watching. And I hope you found something valuable out of today's stream or something that you've enjoyed watching. I genuinely do appreciate you being here, Danny. Or is it Dan? Which would you prefer? Yeah, nice to meet you. Danny. Okay, it is Danny, not Dan. I'm sorry. Had to go double check. But yeah, I appreciate you. And I guess I will be back tomorrow. If you're there, great. If not, then hopefully there will be more people. And I will talk to you later. I'm gonna go ahead and end now and set you free, Danny. Have a wonderful night.